Hello and welcome to Audio Quicktips number 38. My name's Lee Woodward. Today's area of knowledge is in lead conversion, otherwise known as winning the business or the listing presentation. In advanced learning, it's not always the introduction of new information that moves us forward, but more the correct organisation of what we already know. As you listen to Audio Quicktips, many of the things you could be doing right. You may have come off track with certain things, and our program gets you back on the train tracks to straight success. However, it's not always brand new information that moves you forward. It's more the modification of what you already know. So, for example, winning business is such a big part of our industry, but sometimes we don't look at the truth to why we lose business and then what we need to do to strengthen that weakness. The difference between winning and losing a listing rarely hinges on one single issue. A series of small issues usually influence an owner's decision. And when you ask why you missed out, you will usually receive an answer that is designed to let you down gently. Example, fees, style of advertising, etc. Success is not based on one thing. Many little steps contribute to the entire journey of a professional. It's not just how beautiful your brochures are or your signboards. All those things hold weight, I agree, that makes you a professional presenter. But in professional presenting, some of your best breakthroughs are when it's important to the client. And I think one of the most important things you can do for a client is to be helpful and approachable. Remember, everyone's saying how great they are and we're number one and we've got this and we've got that and we're a national network. We get that, but that's not helpful in any way. And you know you're in the right groove with an owner when they start responding and they start asking you the questions. And it's like a need-to-know basis. If you can work out what somebody needs to know, now we're presenting of what's important to the client versus our version of how good we are. Now, this all sounds wonderful, and here we are hovercrafting above the technique, but the coaching tip for today that's going to drive to the center of the core of what I'm talking about is by using tools. And the one tool of your listing presentation that I'm going to mention today is the benefit and power of doing a buy and sell assessment for your client. Now, a buy and sell assessment is a document and lives in the complete salesperson course manual when you achieve and do that course. And we start by asking the client, has anyone worked out the changeover costs for you? Would you like me to do it for you? This creates a moment because that consent of, oh, look, we'd love you to work it out because we don't know how much we're going to have left or what your fees are, what the marketing is. So, yeah, we'd love you to work it out. You have now achieved engagement. And as a listing leader, you're trying to get people engaged, aligned, so that you can leverage and they can leverage off the model of selling that you have. And then you've got a breakthrough. Now, the buy and sell assessment is not used every time, but I know in my career, there were certain situations where it was the only reason why I won the business. For example, it could be I was working with an elderly lady and she was really concerned about her pension, didn't know what stamp duty was, and I would say, Mavis, would you like me to work out the changeover costs for you? Oh, that would be wonderful. And I would do that, show her the numbers, and she would pretty much want to sign the authority straight away because she felt protected by the knowledge that I have. And again, it's been mentioned on this program many times, our theme is, for the client, we want you to profit from our knowledge. Another situation that was very common for me was divorce situations where I was working with the lady and she'd never done the numbers and her whole life was just in chaos. It's a very dark time when someone's going through a divorce. And I would say, Sandra, would you like me to work out these changeover figures for you? Oh, could you? And I would fill them out, get it all going, and suddenly, bingo. That connection had happened and everything else I said was just like everybody else, but this tool was helpful. Now, the document is very simple. It says buy and sell assessment, selling, you have the property, agent's fees, solicitor's fees, moving fees, bank fees, meaning what is actually owing to the bank on this property. You then go to the buying stage and you go the purchase price of your proposed new gold property, solicitors' fees, your building and pest reports, the stamp duty, connections, and then maintenance. We'd always ask everyone to allow some money for maintenance on the property they go to, as it can be one of those things that blow the budget. You then deduct the cash left over from selling to the purchase price of purchasing, and that gives us a changeover figure of what their new mortgage would be. And then on the back of the buy and sell assessment chart, it's just a stamp duty chart. They get to keep this. It's like a long DL that you give them, and it's got your details on it. And it just creates that moment of truth that you are a consultative person, not just another agent. I hope you've enjoyed today's coaching tip. I'm Lee Woodward. Till next time, goodbye.